Hey guys, Cube Hamster here and welcome to the ultimate Slimestone tutorial. Not redstone, Slimestone. A tutorial where I will try and show you all the different mechanics that I've learned over the past 3 months trying to come up with all these weird Slimestone contraptions. I'm calling it Slimestone because we're basically making machines without the use of redstone dust or repeaters or comparators. We are basically just using the 5 blocks that you see on the left. We're going to need a flint and steel to occasionally cause block updates, and at some point during the series we'll probably involve some TNT. I want to go over like different mechanics per episode. I will eventually cover pretty much all the things that are kind of necessary to build something like this. So we'll start with the basics this episode, that is like all the different engines you can use and how you can attach stuff to your engine. And then in later episodes I will go into stuff like how you can get sort of alternating piston patterns, how you can add delays in your Slimestone contraptions, how you can have buttons, how you can have movable wiring, how you can send redstone signals backwards through your machine, and yeah, all sorts of other weird Slimestone mechanics. So I hope you guys will enjoy this episode, kind of the basics but also more advanced stuff, and I suggest we shall get going. So before we start building engines, we probably should go over some very basic principles that you have to bear in mind when working with slime blocks and pistons in general. When a piston is powered diagonally, or there's a redstone block diagonally to a piston, whenever it receives an update or gets pushed into the position where there is diagonal power, or power on the side for that matter, it is going to extend. So if I place another piston here and I push this piston into the diagonally powered position, it will extend. Obviously the same goes for having either power on the side or power below, but whenever I push this now, it's going to immediately extend. Another very important thing is that we have this piston pushing 3 blocks now, but if we add 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks, more than 12, and we try and push the piston where it gets into a position where it's powered, it will actually not extend, because pistons can only push 12 blocks maximum. Even if they're attached to the side, like this is sort of an entire section that's getting pushed now, the max is 12. Interesting enough, if you lower the amount back to 12, which is under the limit, this piston doesn't extend, but as soon as it receives an update from a block or maybe a player, it will actually extend. And I'm updating by lighting the piston on fire. That causes a block update. That is kind of the basic mechanics you have to bear in mind when doing slime block stuff, Slimestone. Okay, now that we've covered the basics, we can start building engines. There's one thing I'd like to say though, just to avoid confusion. Whenever you build a big Slimestone thing, like with slime blocks and redstone, you've made, basically, in any case, you've always made a flying machine, but the flying machine consists of 2 things. There's always an engine that pushes stuff forward, and then there's just a whole bunch of stuff that's attached to it. And the whole thing makes your flying machine with an engine. The principle we just used, where a piston gets pushed into a powered position, we can actually use to make a very simple, understandable flying machine. I have this section, I'm going to move it back a little bit, and bearing in mind the 12 block push limit, we're at 10 now, 11, 12, and then we'll go down with a redstone block here, so that when this gets pushed forward, it can immediately extend again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should always count your sections when you build stuff like this, because you have to bear in mind the 12 block push limit. Now, if I attach this piston with a push section to here, what am I doing? Let's just do it like this. If I put it like this, nothing will happen because we have a stable situation. But if I move this redstone block here, now we have an unstable situation, because as soon as this piston gets updated, I mean, it's not being powered now because I placed it diagonally, but as soon as I update this piston with my flint and steel by setting fire to it, it will extend, pushing this piston next to the redstone block, which will extend, pushing this piston next to the redstone block, causing that to extend, and you kind of get a looped. This is why I like to call this an unstable looped engine, because there's always one piston that wants to extend, and let's just fire it off, and this will keep flying. And the more pistons you add to your looped engine, the slower it goes, which can be useful. And this is actually the type of engine that I ended up using in Gargantua. Gargantua has a looped engine with 15 pistons, and the reason why they are kind of useful, especially for bigger slime block builds, is because they are fairly easy to stop. Because of the 12 block push limit, as soon as this piston has to push more than 12 blocks, I can stop the engine, and I can then later somehow update it either with flint and steel or with say another contraption to make it move forward. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get this one over the 12 block push limit and then somehow managing to push this block away. But it's possible. So that is the unstable looped engine. Let's continue to the next one. Okay, next up we have an engine that most of you guys that have been messing with Slimestone have probably seen before. It is the Caterpillar engine. You have a sticky piston with a slime block attached to it and a redstone block, and then you have a normal piston. And as soon as I update this, the piston will extend, grabbing the non-sticky piston block, moving it one block forward, causing that to immediately extend and push forward this entire section. So grabs it, pushes, grabs and push, grabs and push. And whenever this piston gets an update, that cycle continues. And yeah, you can update this in a various, like all different types of manners, but the most basic flying machine, in my opinion, is where you use the extension of a normal piston to cause this Piston Caterpillar engine to update. So this thing will just keep flying forever, or at least until it goes out of the loaded chunks when you are not there. But that is the Caterpillar engine. It's quite fast. It's kind of the max speed you can get with sort of normal pistons, or at least when you don't supercharge them, which is something I will talk about later. These are also very useful to cause delays in your builds. And what I'd like to do now is just kind of show a basic principle which you can do, because they extend when you update them. Whenever I move this one forward, I can use this block that's getting pushed forward to update another Piston Caterpillar that is on the other side. And if I then cause a block update on the other side again, we get a very, very simple engine. Not very fast, but sometimes faster is not better when it comes to Slimeblock stuff. I should have updated this one. So you have a Caterpillar that updates the Caterpillar on the side, that then updates the Caterpillar on the left side. It's kind of looks cool. but this is very useful. And I've got 2 now, but I hope you understand that you could basically loop this and have like 4, 6, 8 and get ridiculously slow flying machines. Yeah, they're kind of cool. This is also stackable, or you can add more stuff or more of these piston caterpillars to the side, and it will just get dragged along. And you can drag them on with a delay, or you can drag them on a bit faster. So you can see like a pattern going on now. This updating also works when you, let's see, let me just get rid of this one. This also works when you remove the block, and then it will actually go a bit faster. Oh. As you can see, these two are in sync now. So if you want them to instantly update, you could place it like that, which is also very useful. Okay, next up we have a kind of peculiar engine. It looks like a caterpillar, but it's not, because there's 2 sticky pistons. This is kind of a chaotic engine or chaos engine. You get a situation where a kind of weird situation where stuff moves back and forward, because this one's like grabbing this one and pushes it, but then also pulls it back, and it's just going back and forth. I find these extremely annoying to work with, but they can be useful in certain situations, because they consist mostly of just one kind of section. But if you add a normal piston to this this situation, you can actually get a flying machine that is kind of made out of one section, and they are kind of interesting because of the like alteration of the movement. You can use that for like a whole variety of different things, and they're also kind of easy to turn around, because this is actually the type of engine that I used for my compact elevator, like the elevator you can build in 60 seconds, because you can change the direction of this flying machine kind of relatively easy. So this thing will move this way now, and if I can hopefully break this block, yes, and if I then hopefully can place a block there, now it moves the other direction. So it's a very simple way of you can having a flying machine change direction. If you can somehow move this block to the other side again, it should move the other way. There we go. Let's update it again. There we go. So now it flies the other way. So that is the Chaos engine. In very big builds, I don't think these are very useful, but in very, very small ones, I think they can be very useful. Now that we understand all the different, or most of the different types of engines, there's still a few more that I want to talk about in later episodes. We can start attaching stuff to them. So we have the basic Caterpillar engine here with a piston that updates the piston, causing it to move forward. And if you want to add stuff, there's multiple ways you could do it, but just to give an idea, you just have a section, then with the piston that gets pushed into a powered position. The powered position can be like in a variety of different ways. We've done it like this. Funny enough, I could do it like this as well, either diagonally directly on the side or 2 blocks above, and it should move forward as soon as you start pushing it. So yeah, you have an engine, hook up stuff, make a giant moving machine. There's other ways you can do this, because what we basically have now is we have a machine where the more pistons I add in the chain, I'm adding more delay. And with delay and pistons, you can do interesting stuff. Think 3x3 doors, 4x4 doors, just things happening in a certain order. So as for an example, if I were to have a section go here with the redstone block attached to the end, and then have a sticky piston here, what I'm getting is I have my engine, which will cause this piston to move forward. Then that is a delay because pistons extend in 1.5 tick, which then makes this piston move forward. But seeing as I'm moving a sticky piston into a powered position, this will immediately extend. After which it will unextend because this section gets pushed away, moving the redstone block away again. Which is awesome, which means that I can now have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that 12? Looks like 12. I can have like 12 blocks there just being dragged along by my sticky piston because I'm extending it and then like unextending it. Extremely useful, and I hope you understand that I can like make this go around the corner and have another section hooked up to that. And even though I am adding more delay to my kind of chain of pistons, it is not slowing my machine down because the engine is still the same as before. I have an engine just pushing forward at a steady pace. Let me try and add a bit more delay by, for instance, adding one of these Piston Caterpillars. Well, let's add 2. These are amazing, by the way. These are by far my favorite engines because they are the most compact way of adding a delay. Because the pistons, this piston has to extend first, then it has to unextend, and then this piston has to extend again, which just takes a very long time. So added more stuff now, more delay. My machine still moves at the same speed, but I can just keep making this bigger and bigger and bigger to make it do whatever I want. Now I do, because we're kind of slowly reaching the end of this this episode. I do want to show one more kind of interesting mechanic, something that you can attach, because this is something that some of you might have happened in the past. If you have a sticky piston instead of a normal piston that gets pushed into a powered position somehow, this will constantly keep spazzing out like this. And the reason this happens is, yes, let's stop, is because there is an air block here. As soon as you eliminate the air block, it will only extend once. And this is a very simple block update detector, and like the simplest you can make now uses the same principle. It's a sticky piston with a slime block with the redstone block attached to it, and this gets pushed up, and it only extends once because there is no air block there. And the same goes, you can actually do this downward as well, so it's a very simple downward block update detector where you just have a slime block there and a powered piston, and as soon as you update this, it extends once. But this stuff is amazing because I can hook these up to my machine as well to make it so that every time I move my machine, it will just kind of fire once. So am I still under the 12 block push limit? Yes. So if I start moving this now, every time I move this forward, it extends once. And the reason I have a normal piston here is because I don't want my entire section to move forward. Although you could actually probably have it do that as well. Let's actually try that. I think the speed of this machine, with the speed of this machine, it should be possible to do this. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just try it. This might not work. I think it will. Exactly. So you can have really weird mechanics going on to make all sorts of very weird, complex machines with maybe weapons at some point, if you feel like it, or to plant or to move mountains and stuff. You know, just weird stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of this series. I will get into much more complicated stuff in future episodes. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. It helps out a lot. It would be awesome if I could get over 1,000 likes on this tutorial video to yeah, get the message out to other people that I'm doing this stuff. But yeah, like always, if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for future videos. And I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I will see you all later. Bye bye.